on next. And their long list of absolutely fabulous achievements is in their bios, which I recommend you to look through. They're lovely and generous in their length of achievements, so I'm not going to read them here, but please do look. And okay, so you've got the stage, my friends. Go right ahead, and of course, you can hit record, Rick.
Already in motion.
You're still muted, friends.
You're muted. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Well, thanks very much for inviting us to read tonight. Sometimes we feel like Siamese twins, but we are separate. Really. We're joined at the hip somehow. I don't know quite how, but it's something that's happened really. But yeah. Anyway, I'm going to start tonight because Robert always likes me to read first, not because I want to be first, but he prefers that. So
first should be last and last should be first.
Okay, the first poem I'm going to read is called Left Behind. I light up stories high in your bedsit over the city, a rain traveller eager for a clutch of roses, lipstick stains on a glass, my bootleg champagne, a graffiti of pain etched on my body. Left at the station, I see stars at the mouth of the underpass. But not so your eyes, tunnels dark and meaningless, an acropolis of flowers in my lap as rails roll over. Waves crash land on the estuary and stones are worn away as my train passes by on the foaming track. Sand stings my eyes beyond feeling. A cigarette burns down. Ghosts I finger on the misty glass. Violet cityscape. Violet cityscapes can poison us all. We fall in the long grass. Too many gravestones. Too much grieving as we link the plot. Arc de ciel pass through our bodies. A multicolored death is imminent as we street walk through our dreams, ready to transform the demon, lead him to the backlot in a film noir. Arcadia on the night shift. Here's resin for your bow and breath for your trumpets. Polish up those grimy wings. Take off in the night winds. Cities at war. Up in flames from my car window. A crucifixion of light as bombs fall. Flashing in a crescendo of lives only half lived. The conductor of chaos surveys all. As buildings collapse and everything falls, broken dolls in desperate plight, a fallacy of windows still in place, though all have caved in, and so much colour can only blind us. Birds of paradise release our fantasies. Are they really flying past with an escort of angels? In the skies where rampant souls depart, why have you forsaken me? I come from Galilee. I walk on the sea in a bid for freedom and infinity. Just one small boat, like a refugee from the Holy Land, up in flames from my car window, a crucifixion of light as bombs fall. Ghost lovers. Lovers' lights in my shade. I never saw you slip away. Days and nights without sleeping. Days and nights of dreaming in the company of ghosts who held me in the night. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Why does the world always frown? Honky-tonk boy, I sell my soul for you. Don't deny me the rights to my property. Crazy for you, baby. It's what you always say. Don't leave me this way. Take off your boots, leave them by my door. I'm dressed in old brocade, I never ever sleep. I live forever in cobwebs and rust. I love you all in the furtive dusk. Do you have recollections of me? Your face is star in my gallery. I display you for the memory. I don't need to embroider your names. You're always there in my heart, from the first to the last departed. My virgin boy, a law student. Let's not fudge, I need you too. High up there, disguised as a judge, Jean Genet style, on the balcony of fate. To my little Rubik's Cube man, Lord of the Rings. You threw it all away by sleeping with my friend and wearing my velvet cloak while you gave it head. But then you were promiscuous at sweet 18. A true lover boy with your golden snake, a jackanapes who moved like a shooting star. The next in line, what can I say? You're all lined up outside my door. It's tripping here where I languish in bed, trapped in a world with my own imaginings. Dreams. Go away, you crazy acrobats. I want to make it with the stars. It's macrobiotic. You destroy my urges. Must have and will have magic size. We are such things as dreams are made of, living only in dream time. Ask the Aborigines. Where do we really exist, if we exist at all? Their responses enthrall me, yet why not? Modern trappings of wealth and security seem to be all that we've got. Emancipate me. Siddhartha left all that he knew to live in poverty, the revealing honesty and wisdom of his dreams, touching on paradise like a sun-tipped flower, having lived in a world of deep blue. I'm running naked past the scarlet snake, my advisor in the Eden of my mind. I live in the darkness and light of my soul, which longs to escape from reality. True beauty is revealed only through visions, as all the sages knew in their solitude. Ashoka lived finally in true beauty, protecting all wildlife in his earthly realm. He had created such a heaven in his imaginings, meandering in a newfound dream of high morality. Which dream is really our truth? I want to make it with the stars. The fork in the road. This was a theme one time, and I've kept this poem because I quite like it really. But as I take the deviation, I mount the carousel, make love to a fair man, freedom tattooed on his chest, stuff myself with candy floss, en route to hell. Hell versus heaven, that match must be played until we fulfill our fate. Which fork to take? Choose the referee with care. His decisions could be fake. Which fork to take? One of true love? Abelard and Eloise? Castration in the church? Was it a mistake, or did love remain intact? Yet as one examines the portrait in a picture of Dorian Gray, why is the dark route so thrilling? Ask Oscar, he showed him the way. A murderous one, casting away love, descend to the depths of the dark web. Did Boxer the cart horse dream as he struggled with heavy loads? Should he have shed the chains and run wild and free from the farm? His fate in the glue factory along that hidden fork? Like hamsters on our wheels, we choose the mundane route, struggle aimlessly on the treadmill, incarcerated in our memories, avoiding change like the plague. Take risks, fulfill your need. Right, I spent many happy hours and nights in the studio in Montmartre where we used to be together. It was our love nest, and it's just not, we can't get there at the moment, but you know, it's got so many happy memories, and this is one of them. It's called It Was Then and Happened There. We're in the studio we call home in Montmartre, and I'm dropping mushrooms in a pan on the one ring that we cook on, and you're dancing to jazz on the world radio. as the pungent smell of fungus invades your nose, and you tell me your mouth's watering, and I look over your shoulder through the balcony door as the curtains blow and think about dancing and how it doesn't keep people together like it should, even if they're hanging onto one another, even if they're dancing, they're not dancing together, even if the music doesn't move them, even if they're fluid as liquid crystals in their separateness, and creates a moment not necessarily shared, but intense as the timbre of that old muted trombone of Miles Davis. And they moved in their passion and wished to be dancing nowhere, but here, not out in the ether, not floating ballistically through an expanding universe, not twitching rainbow shadowed in an ice cavern, not even if there's a nihilistic drummer out there and it means the end of everything, or the beginning, whichever dimension they find themselves in. And I watch your feet swiveling around in that old pair of sandals you've been wearing all summer, and you move me with your innocence. And I want to cry, and I serve out the mushrooms and put the plates on that old table, which used to belong to an artist's palette. Suddenly you stop dancing and look at me instead, and the voice of Ray Charles crystallizes from the small radio, and sunset streaks across your cheeks as you sit down to eat, and you wipe mushroom juice from your chin. And I got a woman, she's good to me, is the theme tune for the rest of the evening. And this is one I may have read it before recently, but it's about my favorite singer, Serge Gainsbourg, who I adore actually, still listen to. I adore Serge. Yeah. It's called La Décadence for Serge. In a beam of light, I saw you. Your dark glasses captured the moon. The electric lights in the auditorium held you fast, or tried to, like holding onto a whirl of ice. You're undercover in the night streets. Who knows who you will meet? Les enfants de chance, maybe? All in blue, you scan the corners. Love on the beat is your game. Stravinsky, think of me, you exclaim, in a flare of Les Papillons de Nuit. Hey man, amen. Hey man, amen. Will this be your legionnaire? A crush photo? Je suis venu te dire. A wedding in black silk sheets with Jane and Salvador. La Décadence is my game, in the back of a Rolls Royce. Melody Nelson is her name. She's an objet d'art. I never passed the test. La vague est résolue, Brigitte. Je t'aime moi non plus. Mais entre tes reins, between your thighs, je vais et je viens. La Décadence is rife at dead of night, under the skirts of the Eiffel Tower. We will dance La Javanaise again, Jane, in my wildest dreams, when all the gitanes are smoked away and I've lost the plot. Yeah. Blue dunes. Blue dunes under blue moons. Waves crash from a mighty blue ocean. Driven by the tides, I rock and roll the night away. My neck hung with lapis lazuli. A seahorse, ever faithful, awaits my return. His mane a mine of topaz. He will wait forever as I research why your eyes are so blue under Martian sun. Your blue body, my blue body. I run my fingers through your ultramarine hair. The next one is called Cosmic Consciousness. Where am I now in the slipstream of information, struggling to survive as whales spout wisdoms? Check with your guru before bridging gaps. Seek enlightenment with a holy man in Pushkar. In his ashram there lies the font of all knowledge. Connect with a naked man, painted blue, and chant Hare Krishna through the night until morning light. See peacocks sprawl on the temple opposite. Come, change your life. Enter my dreams. Life is not what it seems as I tussle with nightmares. I'm on my iPhone, tucked in bed at home, alone. Amazon.com beckons me to shop around. Products are not all they seem to be. I move rapidly from depression to ecstasy. The market is the place to be, an oasis in a turmoil, run by robots, conducting a scene, a fantasy. They gather information from your psyche. What's it really like out there? Ask your guru. He states dreamily that the river is flowing. I feel as if I'm drowning in this body of time. Maybe I'm in need of a sex change. It's all the rage. I could be immortal, like she who must be obeyed. Could buy a liver, a kidney, even a new heart. Very dear, but they could always be second hand. Even a new brain that connects with the scene. I could be whoever I like if my Visa card worked. And this one was about the plight of the women in Syria. I mean, women fight back. The sexiest dolls parade the bazaar. Beauty fretted over only in dreams. Transparent for those who want it to be. Revealed only to the most impatient lovers. As how can they love what they never see? Are you a monster in a disguise that you hide away? I pray for you, my dearest, even in nightmares. I flush with passion. Is your hijab tweaked for me? You reveal your velvet brow to me, your lover to be, just like the priestess in Chaucer's prologue. Our sighs will light up the world, my beautiful girl. If only they would set you free. I'll cover you in pearls. Together we'll tackle them, the grey ones, beating out their own sin. They were dried up in their skin, controlling the lives of the young. Beating heads on the wall, you live a life of insanity. My Frankensteinian bride can yet be mine, sewn up in sin. Sewn up in sin, her scars will light her way to heaven. We can live together, eating figs and pomegranates, safe for eternity. Our sisters will follow us to paradise. We have no right to fight the morality police. It's a loser's game to feast on shame, like suffragettes. They too were beaten down like dogs chained to a fence, jeered on the street and carried off in vans by the police. The glass shattered between their ego and id, a crying shame. Your fading ghost danced and sang in Persian courts, and other places with rosy cheeks and sparkling eyes, ready to tie the knot together, even love, temporarily, in the stolen blue shade of a minaret. Lift up your veil. You're here now, the dancers have gone away. In your ivory tower you look down on the world, your curls unswirled, curtaining your daydreams, or of a man's fingers sliding around your breasts. What have I said to displease them? Save me, please, from a fist in my mouth. It's a fool's game. I'm black and blue. Come, sisters, let's stamp on his head, shatter his glass. The man in the mosque has gone too far in his hate campaign. I'm only 16, but I already know what I want to be seen. Not like a woman in hell, burning brightly in the dark, but bareheaded and proud, hijab in hand, in the fast lane. I hope I don't get into trouble for that one. Feelings of blues. Are you there? Are you there in that alabaster stare as the pianist plays in abyss? You're here in my head. I'm a lonely girl hiding behind my eyes. A toxic swathe of hair denies entry even to the coolest jazz. Drinking grog never fails to stir me. Tripping along on the cobblestones in the glittering rain of Paris, Berlin, and Rome. Even London town calls. No, I'm not Dick Whittington with high boots and cane, searching for my stash, my dwindling fortune. My eyes fail to focus on the future, but remain in the past. Like the Cheshire cat, I'm lugubrious, vanishing when the mood takes me into a time warp of dreams, fingering my soul, playing on it like a harp. In Liverpool 8, the artist quarter, I met my date, a once-a-week job in my student flat, torn apart at the seams like a damaged doll, hurrying to the rendezvous in rubber boots against the pouring rain, or sandals painted with flowers in a heat wave. Take me to a coffee bar to meet the midnight freaks. We haven't been out for weeks since I met you at that party on Bold Street. You were funny then, you said. Tread lightly on my heart. Departure is imminent. A flash of blue glass eyes. I was funny, you said. A sweet relief from your PhD world, swirling with academe. You used to be so funny, you made me laugh. In my head, it's a refuge for broken dolls. It's gone dead, you said. Your spell has failed. I already dread next week in my solitary bed. The empty space, sipping coffee, wiping froth off my face. It's the tail end of blues. I'm so confused. My life was never like this. I was amused. The joke was on me. Do glass eyes ever cry? She moves away in the neon lights, a toxic priestess in dragon flight, yours for the night. Never deny her the right to love. The pianist plays as I recollect, the hands on frozen keys. It's winter, the earliest winter of our content. My poetic dream, descending silver leaves, whispered by trees, silver birches to all account, sitting under heat lamps as icicles drip from the bar opposite. The new spring will launch me, a hostage to fate, alive on arrival. I've just got two more, I think. This is one that Robert really liked, and it's just been taken by a magazine, so I thought I'd read it. Blackbird, it's called. Sing for love, rediscover your song. The earth is sweet as you halo the day. You fill my head with your tremulous voice. Sunshine opens the morning flowers. Please stay forever, like a new lover, petal by petal, revealing the soul. Serenade me at dawn as I breathe fresh air and celebrate life's perfection. I hear you, a musical star high in the trees, ruffled by the breeze and memories of night. I hear you as I grasp the end of time, but your song lasts forever like a prayer. No, I've just got one more now. Have I got time for one more? Have I? Yeah, just one. It's in two parts, Passion 1 and Passion 2. So, Passion 1. Grant me the power of words. It's absurd to mute myself, to care for silence so much that it's granted on cue, leaving me dumbstruck in your arms, but all memories intact. Tarnished though we are, I remember your smile. The sweet memory of your smile. Don't deny me that. I curse the time for passing. So fast I want to incubate. It's crass that there's love in such difficult times. I hang out lazily in your invading arms, feeling your imprint on my lips, on my body, the lottery of time, given, even scored in haste, lest we forget the time we spent choosing numbers. Your fairy tale grin as grimalkins ruffle my skin, sighing your long, long legs those nights in the forest, trees agape, taking in the night wind on the forest floor, on sweet beds of primroses and lust, we sashay together, covered in snowdrops like pearls and brimstone's wings. And then Passion 2. Flying acrobats across our path, a shrill of laughter, a rasp of breath, make love subtly in a philomel of dreams. Feel insane in the invading rain, dancing in the dark. As thunder balls us out, lightning scars the skies. Yet nature can be as tranquil as birds asleep in the trees, out of sight, in soft moonlight, pouring on our nakedness. Plonger sûrement à la nature. Breathe new life into me, in this torture of crows descending in the morning light. We can feel anything, subdued by a murder of crows. The utmost pain is stinging rain. Anything goes. Sweet love, I want your soul. Thank you very much for listening. I think Robert's going to read now. It's time, isn't it, really?
The first one I'm going to read is Samum, which is the title of my next book. The fall of the night over India's brow. The sun, where the lions kill, dispersed into space like smoke, bolts of silk. The dark is growing elderly. Celestial shadows over savannah. The stars of Africa in the after heat. I shine in the dark, dark stars that brain swathe the sky. Love winds that shape the sand dunes. Simoom, Sirocco, rising as dust devils. Sun and moon play with the tides of sand, their footprints lost. Eons. Those eons you told me are exploding by the night. I'm living outside of time now, like an ultraviolet light. I haven't silvered the palm of an astrologer with stars, or looked into the future with tarot cards. Time warps and other dimensions. I have enough trouble with terrestrial time. The plasma screen shows me my memory is only so many illusions. I haven't an eternity to play with. Neutrinos or molecularly. Is there a soul or do I face death? There's silence in space. It's all been a miracle. I'm just dust in the sunshine. Only have nostalgia for the stars where I come from, for an eon where travel at the speed of light. I'm just dust in the sunshine, like the friable earth. I'm made into smithereens, iota less than tiny hundredweights of neutrinos, smooth as sunlight across an opium table. A meaningless puzzle to me holds my body together, an anatomy of almond and May, and me the crying rain. My doctor, an illusionist, tells me that my shadowy frame will be a fishtail in his peripheral vision for a little longer. I'm wagering that it's all headed for a fall. Speaking and seeing through my fingers, I don't want to be your prophet of doom. No other prophet can see the invisible threads that bind us, spider lines that catch the sunshine. Diamondback spider. Under the candle tree in the cradle walk, the birthmark of the sun will catch the edge of the spider webs, the droplet of a diamondback spider by side of the drive to Byron's house, an unadorned tomb of a house. I visited his lonely rooms, tried on the Grecian cask with its crimson feather to embattle the infidel. I read through the glass the frontispiece of Dr. Polidori's Vampire, the melancholy fragments of a life of a libertine. Across those fanged and slavering seas, the rumours and the delicacies. Summer television drizzle, unsentimental, as the Lord Lovers be. It's a beautiful day. He's everywhere in this place, Satan's own man. That poor old Dr. Polidori was bewitched by his fame. Could it be that the monster transformed them all at the Villa della Darte, the Shelleys, in a Gothic glim, singing an andante to the Lord's tune, his tincture, his dose, his nightmare. My skittering claws rasp on the chuckling floor. A few lucid eyes swivel in my head. The earth turned. I found myself high on opium, buttonholed by Coleridge, soothed by Keats. I felt the way an orchid must feel, sublunary, yet sublime, Shelley before the flame. Sea ghosts. Who are you? Anonymous. That went down, all hands lost, headed for the fjords, prey to the violent winds, sliding from the forecastle. Too stunned to swim, belay there, a wash of lunar light, fluorescent, ceiling's grave. A 16th century merchantman hailing from Gravesend, bound for the New World. Leaden boxes cast off, with the horses in the horse latitudes, whale bat the white breath of ghosts. Gold doubloons in the Christ light of a chancel, the crumbling portrait of a grandee in a chrism cloth consummating the crucifix of Toledo, priestly artifacts with the clamped jaws of custodian skulls encrusted with mollusks rechristened, catafalque of a prince broken as a Portuguese man of war, bullion festooned schools of krill skedaddle as sharks cleanse the illusion, gas masks of a U-boat fall with their spinal cords, the whispering others break radio silence. Nobody must hear. You're come to the wrong place. I'm living for the dead and can't find any peace at Sabbath. For heaven's sake, you mustn't talk to me. There isn't anything at this depth worth saving. We will inevitably be drawn into war. Who blew up the engine room with the dynamite and scuttled us? I have a horror of flying, not anymore. The herring shoal, the hourglass ghosts in the eye of the storm, souls shaped by the moon, the search for Atlantis. I see a glimpse of them, the old ones. They retake human form, having been shapeshifts, assimilating into their former selves. The trembling millions become a maelstrom of the longitude and latitude of Atlantis. I knew nothing, only to say that the Bermuda Triangle had been drawn as far as the west coast of Ireland. And it was here I heard the laughter of the dreaming dead. I had been drawn into the vortex, and zigzagging devil ray followed me down to the grave of Lusitania. In exploring demon green waters, foot soldiers surged in their ranks, newsreel from drowned corruption. Android's love song. Love is the mothership of an unfixed star. Love is delirium. Love is a shop window dummy by moonlight. Love is when the universe blinks. Love is a leotard. Love is a collusion of neutrinos. Love is chiffon and ruby soup. Love is erogenous zones that say yes. Love is the equinox of Phoenix when the Phoenix has no equinox at all. Love is a charm of nightingales. Love is creme de menthe. Love is pink champagne in the sunshine. Love is a miscellany, and nothing compares with your eyes, your lips, your hips. Come and cuddle me, cuddle up with me in perpetual motion. Love is a nervous tick. Love is a jumping off point saying, I'm okay. Love is splinters and tears. Love is made of antimatter, antimatter you, antimatter me. Love is the slightest sign of life. Love is simultaneous gasps. Love is a coupling tube at dawn. At the rising of the moons, love is a re-emerging of the infinite. Baby, you know I love you. I'll go back to Paris as Quasimodo to your Esmeralda. I'll fish your body from the Seine like Modigliani in reverse. I'll genuflect with the gnats in Notre Dame. I'll smear pollen dust on your body like a magnolia. You'll be my Venus de Milo in a goggled helmet. You will be my Tintoretto in the billionaire's restroom. You will be the angelfish on the sea floor to feed my whale hunger. You will be the young moon in the old moon's arms. Baby, I love you through the green labyrinth of this absinthe. You know I do, like an unfixed star in the brittle air. Baby, I love you in search of plum blossom. You know I do, like all the pomegranates of Gilead. And finally, have I got time for another poem, David? Okay. My cat Midnight. Flirting her tail, Midnight was down again, haunting the room. It could be her metabolism. It's faster than mine, what with the rat's tail on my pillow. I blame it on silabins in the milk. Without a neurotic nerve, she wears tail feathers in the mouth, whirring where a beetle flies out, like a rose beetle at the heart of a rose. Her tongue wired. Each eye is rosetted in mystery, a little Egyptian god. My cat looks like a sphinx and certainly quizzes me, unquestionable. To her elusive gaze, she'll stake out the menagerie and flick her alluring tongue, nothing like a blue jackal. My midnight is hunting in space-time flagrantly, glacial-eyed, appears like magic in my room, drapes herself like a continuum, a Moebius strip, and yawns. Midnight is brain swathed in velvet. She exists for diversification and keeps me in the dark about her exploits. If she's disrobing a rat in the corner, she won't let me know. Like a match flame, she will leap back into my vision, clean as a skeleton. Midnight's in the foreground, the centropetus of my eye, ambushing me, then scratching me audaciously. She'll vacillate over a fish head and let me stroke her with electric joy. What are the brain rhythms of midnight's too intricate psychology? Muddled thoughts that appear sleights of hand, a silken thread as light fills these two rooms, her eyes green minutes of a digital clock. Nothing to savor in a Stygian dark, invisible to most in the afterglow. Midnight's acid blue shadows at the limits of my vision as she climbs the curtains to establish her reign. Midnight, after a fight, having wandered astray, comes home a phoenix, nostrils winged wide, the effigy of that other cat burned in its tattered robes. Midnight belongs to the fisher folk when the creepy crawly foghorn neurotic nerves play a saw with a fiddle bow and the winds a broken concertina. There are no cats in Kathmandu, only dogs lying in pools of sunlight, bloodlight created by a slaughter of cats, a hecatomb of cats every night, and the bats fly from the caves across the sky of Kathmandu to drink at the pools of the moonlight. Midnight walks through harlequin shadows, ghosting her neon. She cheats with her peripheral glances, a diamond, a solitaire around her neck. Midnight's a blueprint filmy on my skin. She looks askance like an Egyptian hieroglyph, watching. Naked and athletic, she bristles smokily through the spines of Samarkand. Her perfume glimmers, stepping out like a question mark. She's quizzical, has a milk-like curve that flows between the muscles of her back as she walks in my sleep. Cool winter moons for eyes, mousing eyes, drowsing eyes. She coaxes superstition into being, carving shadows by walking past the gravestones, brushing aside the hemlock and wolfsbane. A black silken mask is a gypsy's vixen, which can penetrate the thought and dream read into the crepuscular corners of my mind. She's a panther when she sidles along, walking the muscles of her back, a touch of blood on her muzzle. She scattered the simple bones of a rat, like a haruspex, to divine our future. The reptilian moons of her eyes hold an image of death, gripping the surface of skulls. She nuzzles an hourglass. She's a mock leopard in flames. Then she freeze frame and scream. Only astronomers know where she disappears to burn in a Chaldean cosmic mystery. Her eyes are luminous lamps of silk. She's clawing at a kilim, one of her many ruses to tease out the tree of life. Midnight pervades the room like a blaze of candles, invoking summer with every tread. When she was carefree and smoke wreath on a dump of roses. She swivels her ears to catch a sound, a footfall on the stairs. she'll meander forever around her prey, claws and feathers, on this walking upstart. Midnight is blood warm, with spider lines in her coat. Star glitter, she has barbed memory, demotic, shape-shifting. She's been around too long for anyone to remember. Sorcerers simulate their alchemy in her eyes. The birds may coexist with midnight, not for long. Incorrigible fiend, she pads past me into the dark, transmuting blood into sunlight, showing her true funereal colours. She stalks the periphery. Midnight won't unsettle a ghost on the day of the dead, won't climb out of any old coffin, her synapses misfiring like God's judgment. Thank you.
Thank you both very much. Such a pleasure to hear you read for an extended period of time. And I certainly know that Butter is a mock leopard in flames, to quote your description of Midnight. One of my favorite things, Robert, that you read was I'm just dust in the sunshine. I'm just dust in sunshine. Such vivid images. You have the trembling minions become a maelstrom. Oh my lord! And you have in your reiteration of love, from the android's perspective, love is when the universe blinks, and love is simultaneous gasps. Wonderful, wonderful work. And Susie, from the beginning, polish up those grimy wings, take off in the night air. You certainly did take off in our imaginations. My favorite line was tranquil as birds asleep in the trees. And especially as well, that the line about being lost, that would last forever like prayer. Beautiful work from both of you, absolutely. And let's open up our mics and please show Susie and Robert some great appreciation for the Ever that was just unrolled before us.
Bravo, bravo.
Absolutely.
Bravo.
Indeed. Yes. Yes.
I'm glad we got it recorded as well.